What was once the Polk County Courthouse now serves as the Polk History Center and houses the Historical Museum and Library. Now, the museum serves Polk's community through special events, volunteer opportunities, and educational programs. More details are coming up next on Polk Place about May's events. Stick around. Hello and welcome to Polk Place. Joining me in studio is Jamie Jameson. She is with the Polk History Center. How you doing, girl?
I'm doing very well. How are you, Brian?
Doing good.
Awesome.
Always good to see you.
Oh yeah, good to be back and ready for the month of May.
Yeah, notice a little heat out there, and
yeah,
summer's on its way and May's here. You know what they say, April showers bring
May history programs.
There you go. I don't think it goes like that, but I'm...
Tomato, tomato.
Exactly. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on in May.
Yeah, so you know, April was officially the last of our cemetery tours for the year. We'll resume them again in the fall, but what that means is we get to pick up with our Lunch and Learn program. And our Lunch and Learn program has been on a little bit of a hiatus throughout the pandemic. We kind of had to figure out what was going on and get to a safe place again. And now we're ready to open the doors and start some programming. So that will kick off on Tuesday, May 17th. It's Lunch and Learn, so it's over the lunch hour from 12 to 1. And our first speaker is just, it's hard to wrap your mind around it. She's going to be talking about water through the lens of it being sacred. So what happens when we stop viewing water as a resource and we view it as sacred to culture, to human life? Which is really interesting to me because usually when we think of sacred waters, we're thinking things like the Ganges and the Tigris and the Euphrates. And so it looks at, well, what happens if we view Florida's water as sacred, and how does that change the lens of conservation? So that should be really interesting, and that's going to be presented by Dr. Victoria Machado, and she's coming down from the University of Florida to do that.
Well, what else do we got going on in May?
Yeah, so then that Saturday, May the 21st, we'll resume our architectural tours, and Bartholomew is going to be leading a group around to talk about the Baroque dome, and I always think of Beauty and the Beast when I say Baroque. You know, if it's not Baroque, don't fix it. But he's going to be leading a tour talking about the courthouse dome, and that's at 11 o'clock on Saturday, May 21st. So you have to join him for that. I don't know what he's going to wear, but he's going to look probably very Baroque when he does it, so it'll be great.
I learned about Baroque in Italy.
Oh, you did?
Yes,
Nice.
yes.
It's something to behold to learn it in the place where it started and where the masters were.
Yes.
And then we're going to wrap up the month on May 28th with the genealogy speaker series hosted by our historical librarian, Preston. And Preston and Jim Bowers from the Imperial Polk Genealogical Society. Say that 10 times fast.
Imperial Polk Genealogical Society.
Yes, they are going to be jumping right on into the 1950 census and giving you some behind the scenes tidbits and facts and ways that you can navigate. And I was actually talking to Tina, you know Tina.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And she was really excited because she went on in the 1950 census on her own and started poking around. And she said she found her mama as a newborn baby listed on the census.
Oh, that is very cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. So they're going to work with the public, and of course that's a virtual program. So you can tune in and ask your questions over the internet, and they can show you exactly right there through the computer screen. Oh, you want to find this? Click here, click there, and that's how you get to this. So that'll be a really great program. Other than that, May is a really interesting month. It's kind of our month. It's Historic Preservation Month. So on the county's Facebook page, on social media, we're going to be doing an emphasis on historic preservation. And do you know what historic preservation includes?
No, but you're going to tell me.
I am. I'm going to tell you. So historic preservation is all the ways that we preserve our cultural heritage. So whether that's through buying older buildings and rehabbing them and using them for new purposes, downtown Lakeland, you see that a lot. Here in Bartow, we have a lot of that. or if it's just promoting the history that occurred at a site. So we're going to be talking a lot about that through our Historic Markers program, which we are so excited about this program because it allows everyday people in Polk County to nominate a place in their community that they think should be preserved for history. And they just call us up and we get them started on the application process to put a marker there so that everybody knows, hey, this was the site of the old Auburndale train depot, or this was the site of the very first Publix, which I'm always surprised how many people come to the History Center and they don't realize that the reason Polk County is so big on Publix is
because it started right
here.
Yeah.
And you can go have dinner in the original supermarket in Winter Haven. It's a restaurant now.
Yeah.
Tempo 1930.
I knew it was a number. Yeah.
And if that's a little too rich for you, you can just grab a pub sub and eat outside and call it a sacred place.
Exactly.
So we'll be emphasizing that. And then in addition to that, May is also Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And we have two individuals that we're going to be profiling on the Facebook page that were from Polk County. Dr. Robert Koo, who had invested a lot of time and research out in Lake Alfred at the Citrus Research and Education Center, specifically dealing with irrigation, which sounds funny to say because we live in Florida. It rains.
Yeah.
We don't need water.
Yeah.
But he found out that even though we get all of this precipitation and rainfall, it still benefited to irrigate the citrus fields because the sand, it didn't hold the water. And then a new person that we are profiling is Paul Fong. And if you have been in Polk County since the 1950s, you probably know him as Mr. World's Fair. And he lived in Haines City and had a little museum called the World Fair-orama, where he had memorabilia from the 1933-1934 Chicago World's Fair. So we're going to be talking about him quite a bit too. So, I mean, we are just trucking through the month of May.
So we got about a minute left. Anything left May-wise?
So May-wise, you know, one of the things that we want to do is also encourage you to come down to the Polk County History Center. May the 4th is a very big holiday in the United States because it's May the 4th be with you.
The day before the night before.
Yeah, the day before the night before. But also, it is the 85th anniversary of the Polk County Historical Commission. And the Historical Commission is established by state law, by the legislator, with the task and mission to preserve Polk County's history. And they have been meeting right here in this building, and they talk about matters prevalent to Polk County's history and make sure that we preserve what we can, and we're so glad that the legislator had the foresight to develop that program for us. And so we're gonna have birthday cake, I think. I'll have to find out. You can give me a call and I'll add you to the list.
All right, very cool. Always a pleasure seeing you, Jamie.
Thank you.
I will see you next month.
Hot days of summer.
Polk County has a rich history and heritage, and the Polk County History Center is continually thinking of new ways to help Polk residents experience that history. The museum's collection includes natural and cultural objects related to Polk and the greater Central Florida area that represent our history from pre-Columbian to present-day areas. The artifacts to present-day eras. The artifacts on display at the museum represent individuals, cultural groups, and events significant to the region. Located at 100 East Main Street in Bartow, the History Center is open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. If you need more information about exhibits and events, you can check them out on the web at polkhistorycenter.org or give them a call, 863-534-4386.